towards where Davy Rogers is up. Rogers swings the left. Davy Rogers! What a goal by Davy Rogers!
Not one person in this stadium seen this goal half. You can see the guards behind the goal at the main stand. They will be investigating Shelbourne for robbery. They have absolutely mugged Treaty United here at Coffey.
And find the goal! Harry Wood, the jersey's off. 6 minutes to go. Look at the back one. What a goal that is!
16. He was playing for the first team, so I suppose I trained with him then when I was a young player coming through. And then obviously I went away for a few years, and then I came back, and obviously he was the manager, and I have a lot to thank him for. I suppose he made me the captain there, and I was captain there for years, which I was good times with. So yeah, a lot of respect for him. He's a great man, great coach, and look, I still would reach out to him the odd time now, like whenever I need advice or something like that. So he's always a good man to have on the outside of the phone.
Then just one a bit more out of style. If both of you each were to make a dream League of Ireland 5-a-side team, what would you go for?
Okay.
Right, I'll go first. Like that we played with, or of all time?
That you played with.
Yeah, we'd be going together. We'd make one together.
Yeah, make one together.
Oh, this was Harry. I don't have much more.
You pick it out into. You put the keeper one.
I didn't really watch, to be honest, too much Cork City back in the day. Like I know nonsense.
I put nonsense, all right.
Put nonsense over Harry.
I'll put Conley in as well.
Right, Nol's Healers. Gonna have to put Johnny in.
Yeah. That's right.
That's true.
Greg Bolter's
Good boy, yeah, Greg has to go in. Greg 100%.
And I'd put.
Right, so that's what?
It's 4, is it? No, it's,
You might need a defender in there.
I'm sorry to be all right.
He's our defender.
No. Jump in chance.
Oh, yeah, defender. Go on, put defender. Oh, why not? Put Healer centre half.
Put Healer centre.
Yeah. Healer centre half.
One more, so you can have the last one. But go.
Right, Shawnee.
Quickly.
Yeah, no, let's put Chops in. Really, yeah. Put
Morrissey.
Morrissey.
All right, perfect. I'll just go on to you there to start with, Cian, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were a captain for those couple of years before you left Cork City. Just wanted to know how you felt holding the captaincy and any advice you'd give to other people going into captaincy and how to be a good captain.
Yeah, I suppose I was 25 when I was first captain, so a good age, I suppose, to be a captain. I suppose any advice I give someone is just try to lead by example, on and off the pitch, in the dressing room, stuff like that. And look, always be there to talk to the players if they have problems or whatever, like, so be open to that. But at the same time, you have to be doing your own job as well as a player to be able to, tell fellas what to do and stuff like that. Like, but look, I've played with a lot of players that have experience too, so the game has changed a bit now where it's not just one captain he lead, like there's all other players with you, like, so for example we've Victor Pasby, one of them, like, a good leader himself, like, so bounce off players like that, like, so it's good to get ideas off fellas like that too.
You left Pats at the end of 2019 season, rejoining Cork City after those years, after coming through the academy. Just want to know what brought you back to Cork?
I suppose I wanted to come home, really. It was with Limerick the year before, and I went to Pats, and it was just something different. I was only 21, and I suppose I didn't play a lot of the time in Pats, but I suppose the end of the season, looking back now, it was good for me, good experience. I played in Europe twice, and I got a good run of games for the end of the season. Then look, it was always in the back of my mind to come home, so that was kind of the thing that drew me back there. So it was always good to come home.
Obviously, you were very comfortable as a midfielder, but Colin Healy definitely transitioned you into a centre half. Just wanted to know, how did it go transitioning from a kind of midfield player into a centre half role?
I suppose I'd have to thank him for that. I don't know, was I comfortable in midfield? I suppose I'm way more comfortable as a defender. But he obviously saw something in me that he thought I could be a better defender. Look, I agree with that now. Like, but I think, I don't know, we've injuries at the time where I have to go in centre half, and I suppose with my height, it would help. Like, so I suppose when I went in there, I just kind of took it in my stride and took it from there.
You were at Cork City for five years, I believe, when you came back, and also a couple of years beforehand. Just How hard was it to kind of leave after all those years? Because I mean, it's a kind of sense of pride captaining the side, being there from a young age. So how was it? How did you deal with leaving the club?
It was all right, really. It's football, like, you know, players come and go, players move on, and that's just what happens. You're not going to be, you know, things change, like. So it was fine in the end. Look, I had some good times there, some tough times there. But that's football, you know. And you come out stronger. Look, I'm very happy where I am now. Looking forward to the rest of the season.
And just one last one. How did the opportunity arise with Cobh? Because there was reports that there was, you know, interest from other clubs, but just wanted to know how the opportunity came about with Cobh and why you chose Cobh.
I spoke to manager, obviously Mick. I spoke to Richie as well. I've seen Richie from when I was with Cork City, and obviously saw had a good few of the players that side played, and obviously had to come down there to sign, and, you know, the squad was looking good. And look, it was just a challenge I was excited by. Obviously, it's close to home, and look, the plans that the new owners have in place and stuff like that, I was very interested in. Looking, like I said, I'm delighted to be here, and we've had a good enough start to the season, so hopefully we can kick on now.
All right, thank you very much, Cian. If I could just go on to Barry there. Yeah. Obviously, Barry, you're from Nana, so you've big hurling town. So just wanted to know if you played hurling when you were a young age now?
Yeah, I from Nina, so I obviously grew up in a big GAA cultured town. Played hurling all my childhood, and a lot of my family and friends still play, and obviously we're a big part of you know, hurling in Nina growing up. So definitely, yeah, it was a big part of my childhood.
Was there a cut-off point where you had to give it up eventually?
Yeah, I think, you know, as a young lad, you don't really know what's ahead of you. So I kind of played until I kind of had to make a decision. It was probably another Cork man, Colin O'Brien. He was my underage Irish manager, who kind of probably could relate in some senses, being from Cork and seeing the GAA side of things down here, that we had a few conversations, but I was only, you know, 14, 15 at the time. And he said, you have to give this a right go. And by that stage, I kind of had, you know, seen some opportunities coming on the horizon. So it was an easy enough decision in that sense, but still, you know, when you grow up playing that sport, and all my, you know, in school, friends, family all play, it was still a tough decision to make, but definitely happy with the one I chose.
Just on the topic of those opportunities, obviously the opportunity came up with Celtic. Just how big was that to move to such a big club at such a young age, and just how that opportunity came about itself?
Yeah, it was, you know, looking back, I can probably reflect better on it now. Obviously, when you're 15, you're kind of just doing what you do. You're not really thinking too much about it. I was obviously looking up being the Irish setup, so playing in that shop window and through the Victory Shield, and being performing well through scouts and people watching. That was kind of where that came from, and it's lucky enough to go over there. And there was a couple of Irish connections at the club at the time, and that kind of, I suppose, drew me into to go over there first off. And then once I got there, it was obviously a no-brainer. Once you're in the building and stuff, it's a pretty historic club and massive fan base and size. So it was unreal. But as I said, as a 15-year-old, you're not really thinking about all that stuff. All you know is, you know, kicking the ball and training hard. So that was kind of all I kind of knew.
Just on that, there was also, you know, opportunities with different clubs, and you had trials with Chelsea. Just want to know how it was, if you felt you know, pressurized coming into such a big club, being Chelsea, with the success they've had the previous years, and just how that experience was going on trial over at Chelsea.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Obviously, being from Nina, it was an absolute whirlwind and an eye-opening experience. But to be honest, I was from Nina, so it's a small place, and it's very easy to, if you want to get grounded, it's not a bad place to be. You can get pulled down a level or two fairly quick. So I had great support around me, great family and friends to keep me kind of on track and concentrated. And yeah, look, I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was unreal experience, and met and played with some top class players. But as I said, it wasn't. Well, it's something I look back on with great joy, and it was it's a real experience. But that was that really.
Probably your most notable season to date is that 2022 season with Cork City getting promoted, and you were absolutely on fire that season. Just want to know how much confidence and how much almost even just going with the flow and just having a really good run of form. Just want to know how you felt during that 2022 season.
Yeah, I felt I obviously been trying to replicate that season on season. It's not always as easy or as plain sailing as what it was, but I felt great. We had obviously a really good balanced team. We had a lot of, I suppose, having Colin Healy as manager, he kind of built a really good 11, 12, 13 players and a great foundation, so there was never probably too much changing from week to week. We had a great midfield balance. Obviously, Keith's up top, who was banging in goals, which always makes it easier for midfielders. And yeah, I think everyone in that squad just rose off each other and really, I suppose, put the foot to the floor. And once you start scoring, it's a funny game. Sometimes you get a bit of luck along the way, but it was something that I'm trying to always do every time I go out is to perform. But I think once I get consistent games under my belt and play back to back 90 minutes 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row, I've always proved I've always showed I can score goals. It's just a matter of staying in the team and getting that consistent game time. And once I can do that and maintain that, I feel that goals have always come and always will. So hopefully I can keep doing that this season.
Just on the topic of goals and staying closer to the goal, you played a lot as an 8 and as a 10 at Cork City and at Cobh Ramblers. Just want to know which position do you feel more comfortable in?
Look, to be honest, once I'm playing and starting and consistently taking 90 minutes, wherever I am, I feel like I can affect the game. I'm probably a bit of a unique kind of 10 in the sense of I'm not, if you look at someone maybe like Jack Kelleher, who's injured here, he's quite a ball player, and I'm more of a, I suppose, runner and later runs into the box and stuff. So to be honest, 8, 10, they're similar enough in the sense once you're on the pitch, you're obviously working hard, and as I said, I don't really care once I'm playing and performing. The goals will come.
Obviously now signing with Cobh Ramblers, I know you're a Tipperary man, but Cork must be feeling like a bit of a second home to you at this stage.
Yeah, no, it is definitely. Look, some great friends from over the years down here, and some savage people still with me here. Can't get away from this lad beside me, but no, I'm very lucky. Look, people in Cork have been great to me since I've come down a few years ago, and especially obviously since I've come to Cobh then as well. It's replicated here, so as long as can keep performing, it's home away from home now is probably a good way of putting it.
Right, lads, both each, thanks for the time, lads, and thanks for answering the questions.
Cheers, thanks
No
very
worries,
much.
mate. Thank you.
Yes, lads.
Cheers.